bro. You feel good? There's so much more stuff.
I have a secret. I just recently realized that I am a cave woman. I mean, I come from a long line of indigenous women who built the fires, who kept the babies warm, who made the medicine and prepared the meals, who kept the predators away. I realized that I'm a descendant of the African ancestors who gathered the village around the flame so we would know our elders, so we would know about our ancestors, so we would know who we are, so we would never forget. I've been thinking about this a lot because I've been thinking about my own village of mamas. You see, there are 5 of us. Our kids were classmates when they were little, and we started spending together time socially. And it's been probably about 15 years that we get together once a month or every other month, never longer than quarterly. And we share our own secrets. We share our own stories. We talk about our lives. We talk about what's hard. And we laugh. We enjoy each other. We take care of each other. I remember when Donna was being released from her first marriage, and I didn't know how much paper and paperwork comes to dissolve a legal marriage. So we decided that we should do something to support her and welcome in this new chapter in her life. So we gathered in my backyard and we had a bonfire. You know, like the end of Waiting to Exhale, the movie, not the book. Where they're dancing around the fire and there are fireworks going off and it's the new year. Well, it wasn't quite like that. Like, we didn't have fireworks. But we did have music and we did have a little dancing and we had wine and piece by piece of paper, ream by ream of paper, we waited until everything was gone. And we breathed with her. During the pandemic, we huddled around our computer screens and tried to pass the time, and then every once in a while someone would flip on their karaoke machine and we would sing at the top of our lungs, and I'm sure we were a little pitchy, and I'm sure our families didn't appreciate it, but it made the time go a little bit easier, a little bit funnier. When it was safe to go back outside, we met in Amy's front yard at her fire pit, and we gathered under blankets and we shared a meal and we talked and laughed as if no time had passed at all. Recently, I read an article about a woman whose husband was very sick. I think he had a significant stroke and he was in the hospital, and she knew that in her faith tradition, in her synagogue, they would start a meal train where they would send meals. So that'd be one less thing she would have to worry about. And she knew she needed their support and she knew she needed their help. She wasn't sure if she needed all the meals. Eventually she realized what she needed was one person to pick up a kid, another person to run an errand, and somebody to wait at the house for a delivery person, and somebody to help when a repair needed to happen, so she could get to the hospital when she wanted to, when she needed to. This spring, I was flying down the highway way over the legal limit. I was trying to get to the airport to pick up my kid, and nothing was going well. The traffic was horrible. Of course I was running late. I needed to squeeze in an errand in between, and my phone rang. It was one of the mamas. Stephanie's house had been in a serious fire. And fortunately, all the people were safe, all the pets were safe, but her family was going to be displaced for quite a few months. And we wondered what to do. We agreed we would start having Sunday dinner. And at Sunday dinner, she could vent about what was going right or what was delayed, or she could also give us assignments, like, is there some way we could help? We could also perhaps provide a resource, or maybe just a meal and laughter. It worked. We had a good time. We agreed that we liked it so much that we would try and keep it going. And I confessed that Sunday dinner was a part of my family's tradition, and I had always wanted this with them, with my chosen family. So as we move into this season of darkness, and the calendar brings us to the longest night of the year, the winter solstice, I'm thinking about my own faith tradition. See, in our faith tradition, we walk into the church before sunset on Christmas Eve, and we have service. And at the end of service, all the lights are turned out, and everyone has their own individual candle. I realized when I was 6, maybe 7, when I was first allowed to hold my candle on my own, that's when I was initiated as a keeper of the flame. My mother was on my right, and she helped me light my candle. I remember feeling nervous, and carefully I moved to the left and helped Miss Mary light her candle. And I remember looking up at the vast darkness at the roof at the sanctuary of the church and realizing that my one little candle was not going to penetrate all this darkness. My mother's candle and my candle and Miss Mary's candle would not penetrate the darkness either. But row by row and pew by pew, as our candles were lit, the ceiling was aglow with our collective light, with our silent prayers for peace. And we prayed for peace at night, and we prayed for peace that season, and we prayed for peace in the new year, because that's what we, the keeper of the flame, do. Thank you.